SwitchBot first entered the smart home market with their ever popular SwitchBot Bot, a little finger bot that could easily turn many devices in your home into smart devices. But recently they've been releasing quite a few new products to expand their lineup, which is why SwitchBot sponsored this video, so that not only can I tell you about some of my favourite features of their brand new devices and how you can actually use some of them with Home Assistant, but also if you stick around till the end, I'll let you know how you can get 35% off the entire SwitchBot lineup in their massive Black Friday sale. First, let's very quickly recap some of the SwitchBot devices you may already be familiar with. Firstly, we have the original product that launched SwitchBot into the smart home world, the SwitchBot Bot. These little guys can be stuck to any device that is, shall we say, not so smart, and instantly turn it into something that can be controlled with your phone or smart home platform of choice, with a little finger that reaches out and presses any button you want. One of my favourite uses for the bot is as a simple garage door opener, which can reach out and press the garage door button. But really, the bot can be useful for anywhere you can't or are not allowed to physically modify your device. For example, if you rent your house, then this could be super useful. Another device you may also be familiar with is the SwitchBot Curtain. Now, I reviewed the SwitchBot Curtain back when it was first released last year, and we actually still use this in our smart home every single day to close our curtains as part of our nighttime routine. They can be set up in literally minutes, super simple to use, and the battery life is absolutely incredible on these, even without using the solar panel. They can be also directly integrated with Home Assistant 2, which is really nice, and one of my favourite features about them is that you can just give them a little pull and the SwitchBots will instantly kick in and do the rest of the work for you. They also work really well with the SwitchBot Remote, which is a teeny tiny 2-button wireless remote that can be set up with any of the SwitchBot devices for quick and convenient control. SwitchBot also has a meter which measures temperature and humidity, and they also have a smart humidifier, which is one of my fiance's favourite SwitchBot devices because while it is a humidifier, so if you live in a drier climate, then you can have the humidifier switch on when it's between a certain level, but you can also put smelly oils and scents in here to have it keep your house smelling fresh with your favourite scents. So that immediately made the humidifier one of her favourite devices, and also the fact that it can actually be really good for your skin. It's got 3 different levels of control, as well as an automatic mode which will automatically turn on when the humidity is at a certain level. Now then, let's take a look at some of the new devices that I hadn't previously seen before, but do have some really interesting features. First up, we have their new indoor camera, a 1080p Wi-Fi camera with local storage through an SD card, infrared night vision, 2-way audio, privacy mode, and the killer feature is that it can be configured to detect humans only so that you can reduce false alerts from animals or pets, as well as a customizable motion zones. It's actually really small and compact and can be mounted on a table or on the wall and would be useful as a general indoor security camera or even as a baby monitor because of that 2-way audio. One other cool thing I do like is the ability to enable and disable privacy mode automatically using either a time schedule or one of your other devices as the trigger. Really useful feature to be able to turn on privacy mode, for example, when you arrive home for the day. Speaking of arriving home for the day, the SwitchBot contact sensor is an actually pretty cool little door sensor. See, it's not just a door contact sensor, but there's also an ambient light sensor, motion sensor, and button all packed in here, making for some pretty useful automations with all of those included sensors. For example, the door contact sensor is able to detect if you are entering or exiting your home. If you press the button on here, open the door and walk out and there is no motion detected, then the door contact sensor knows that you just left for the day, and vice versa. If you open the door, walk in and motion is detected, then it knows that you have arrived home. And this can be used to set scenes using other SwitchBot devices like the new SwitchBot color bulb, or do things like enable or disable the privacy mode on the camera, which we just talked about. Having that ambient light sensor included also is super useful for using within automations to only turn lights on when it's dark, for example. Then we come to the standalone motion sensor, which is just a little bit smaller than the indoor camera, and this has 3 different levels of sensitivity that you can configure depending on your environment that you are installing it in. And the reset time is actually really good on it. You don't have to wait more than 10 seconds between motion events, and because of the built-in ambient light sensor, this is great for being able to control light switches and bulbs only if it's dark and there is motion. For example, using the brand new SwitchBot bulb, which just released. And speaking of the bulb can do colors and warm white to cool white, which I love to see, can be grouped together with other bulbs and can be easily controlled on a timer or on a schedule, or using other SwitchBot devices like the motion, contact, or camera. It also supports creating different presets for cycling through colors, as well as a party mode and music mode by using the microphone on your smartphone. Because it's Wi-Fi, it's nice and responsive, and that means you can control it using Google Home or Alexa. One of the things I actually find most useful is the SwitchBot NFC tags, which can be used to either bring up a device in the SwitchBot app or directly control an action of a device with a simple tap of your mobile phone, and they work with SwitchBot automations too. So the idea is that you would have these placed all over your house and set them up to do various tasks and functions, and then with a quick tap of your phone, you can close your curtains or turn a lamp on, or turn the humidifier off, whatever it may be, without ever needing to open the app, which I find to be particularly useful. They work really well and are really responsive, and a little hint for you, because these are standard NFC tags, you can actually program these to work with Home Assistant as well for even more device and automation control. And speaking of Home Assistant, I was also able to get many of the devices working inside of Home Assistant 2, and there are 2 ways that you can actually do this. Home Assistant has an official integration for SwitchBot built right in, and it works really well. Simply head over to integrations and search for SwitchBot, and if you have a Bluetooth adapter enabled on your Home Assistant server, like the one built right into the Raspberry Pi, then it will search for and discover SwitchBot devices, which you can then add. This way only supports SwitchBot Bot and Curtain at the moment, so I'm hoping that support can be added for the rest of the devices too, but it does give you native control and battery information right inside of Home Assistant. It would be excellent if SwitchBot could add support for their Wi-Fi devices like their bulb and camera inside of Home Assistant too. Those are very new devices though, so hopefully we will see that in a future software update. Another way to get some of these SwitchBot devices into Home Assistant is by using an ESP32 and some software I found on GitHub by user DevWaves, who has done an incredible job by the way, and this communicates with all of your SwitchBot devices locally over Bluetooth and then sends all of the device information to Home Assistant over MQTT. It currently supports the SwitchBot Bot, curtains, the meter, the motion sensor, and contact sensor. And once you get all of your devices added, you'll have nice local control. It's actually surprisingly responsive, which is exactly what you want for motion and door sensors with all of their features and sensors supported. You can also drop multiple ESP32s around your house to improve overall range if you have a particularly large house, and it will just all work because of that MQTT support. So that is a look at the SwitchBot lineup, the new devices and features, and how you can actually integrate most of the devices with Home Assistant to use in your smart home however you like. And if you would like to pick up any of these devices from SwitchBot, then they are having an absolutely massive Black Friday sale with 35% off their entire lineup over the next few days. And this is on both the SwitchBot website and also on Amazon using this code at checkout to get 35% off. I'm going to have absolutely everything linked down below, which will take you straight to all of the products if you want to pick up any of them for an absolutely insane price over the next few days. But that is about going to do it for this video. Thank you again to SwitchBot for sponsoring this video. Thank you to you guys for watching it. Make sure to leave your comments down below. Let me know which SwitchBot products you are planning on picking up over Black Friday. Make sure to drop this video a like and get subscribed, and I will see you in the next video.